The way they were so in love on that show, it was very shocking to see the scenes that we saw. It was a lie, guys. It was a lie. She got the body of a dancer. She got the body. And welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another Love is Blind review, and our Love is Blind reunion review and recap. There's a lot for us to discuss. So as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Guys, we're on the road to 30k. So yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number three, please get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. Cheers, because there's a lot for us to discuss. I feel like we had a very strong season. I feel like the cast members are very strong. I need to give shout out to the producers. Back and forth, a bit of bickering, you know, a bit of clarification, a bit of gasps. Yeah, gasps, because I was shocked to see some of the things that I saw. But let's get into it. So instantly, I automatically noticed that some of the couples weren't sitting together, i.e. Demi and Ollie, which I kind of understood. You know, I was just like, But Steve and Sabrina, guys, you can, I don't know about you, I was shocked. Okay, I was definitely shocked. I know a lot of people were already saying in my reviews that they feel like there were red flags with them, especially with the whole long distance thing. But even just when they actually dug deeper into their conversations and what led to the break, I was shocked. But we'll get into it. So let's start off with Demi and Ollie. Of course, they were asked about the fact that Demi was the one that, you know, said, I do not for now. And what does that mean? And she was just like, you know, initially she did say, I do not for now. But as she did leave and she walked away from the experiment, she did realize that, yeah, not Demi, Ollie is a great guy, but he's just not her guy. So completely deaded it. They said they're friends with one another and they're just going to remain at peace. Now, of course, the next question, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, I also feel like, and I said this in my last review, so I don't mean to mention it, but I'm going to mention it anyway. I do feel like because Demi had grown up in such a home full of so much love and so much care, like her parents have been married for 16 years plus and counting, I feel like because she was brought up in such an environment that showed love and showed care and showed compassion, she definitely wanted something that could emulate the love that she's been shown by her parents, and I just don't feel like she felt like she can get that with Ollie. Now, let's move on to the fact that she also once again mentioned that she feels like, you know, she was a shell of herself, but this is the new Demi 2.0, period. And I have already said this in my previous reviews as well. I do feel like when the season, first started, Demi was really confident, and then sometimes she'll kind of like say something that will make you feel like she's not confident, and then she'll do something again, and then something, and then I remember saying as well, like, I just want her to believe in her source. And I do feel like this experiment has allowed her to really dig deep to figure out who she is, and has also brought out a newfound confidence in her as well. So we love to see the glow, honey, we really do. Now, of course, Ollie also now mentioned that they did have a few conversations leading up to the day, which pretty much confirmed that they both weren't ready to take this step, which makes me wonder, like, you know, at the proposal, I mean, not at the proposal, sorry, at the wedding, when she said no, he was like, huh? Why? You knew why. You guys weren't ready to take that step. Okay? You definitely knew why. Now, of course, they ended up bringing up the fact that Catherine also had a connection with Ollie. And guys, I won't lie, I completely forgot Catherine was even in the picture. I'm going to get into it after all because I actually don't know what sis was doing today. But I actually completely forgot that she was in the picture. Was it a fight when it came to you and Catherine and Demi? Like, you know, where was your head at type of thing? Now, Ollie pretty much said, listen, I'm deading all of the rumors because I've been seeing stuff online. Okay? I've been seeing stuff online, people saying that I don't usually date girls that are like Demi's type, that Demi's like not my type, and people are saying that I usually date, but I just want to make this very clear, I date girls that look like Demi. He was like, I date girls that look like Demi, and if I'm going to be honest, yeah, respectfully, I don't even date girls that, you know what I mean, that's not even my type like that, yeah. The camera now panned to Cat's like, looking into the audience, babe, anyway, Cat now decided to jump in, okay. When she jumped in, guys, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, like, mute the mics. But Kat now jumped in and she was just like, I literally wrote down what she said. She said, what I find disrespectful is the way you judged me quickly in the pods just because I said one place, and just because I said one place I'd like to go, and you're just instantly judging me. And then Ollie was like, why are you, even me, guys, I even said no, why is she actually still bringing this up? I thought you guys did this when you guys were in Greece. I thought this conversation was done. No, because honestly, it's actually been a year. It's actually been a year. Guys, when she said that, I just thought, why has this girl not moved on from this? I'm so sorry. It's actually been a year. This reunion is taking place a year after the episodes were aired, by the way. It's been a year and you're still holding on to this. Come on, let's stop that now, okay? It's okay. It's done. Okay, it's very much done. Instantly, Demi now jumps in. I said, oh, what's going on over here? So Demi addressed the fact that, you guys know, when Catherine, Ollie and Demi were in that mini triangle situation where it was going on, Catherine had a piece to camera, and in her piece to camera, she pretty much said that she just doesn't feel like Ollie and Demi will work on the outside. She doesn't feel like they're suited, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, I remember I made a comment with that in my review anyway, like, you don't even physically know what this guy looks like, but you know physically what Demi looks like. So why are you saying such a comment like that? Even like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble, let me stop talking. Why did you say that? So instantly Demi clocked it. I said, oh, Demi, you've been watching the episodes, girl. So obviously Demi was just like, I just want to let you know you're a gorge girl or whatever, but I just feel like you're really distasteful. Like, what exactly does that comment mean? So obviously Demi's confused. Like, we're supposed to be friends. I thought you're my friend and you're making sly comments like that. Instantly Kat now comes back in and she's just like, no, I honestly just wanted to know about your connection with him. And she just said, no. Don't worry about my connection with him. You should have worried about your connection with him, because that's exactly what you should have done. And I already said it, even when Demi kept saying in the pods, oh my gosh, like, Kat's my friend. I was wondering, had they been friends prior to the show? Have they just become friends on the show? Because a friend will never say a comment like that about another friend. And Kat, that was slimy, and I'm glad that they clocked it. Kat now jumps in again and she's just like, honestly, I'm sorry, like that wasn't my intention. And then Jasmine now jumps in as well, because you know one thing Jasmine's gonna do, she's gonna ride for Demi. One thing Jasmine is going to do is she is going to ride for Demi. So Jasmine was like, I don't understand how you can claim to be friends with her. Like, the only way you would say that was maliciously. Like, there's no other way around it. Kat's like, no, honestly. You know when Kat cries, no, honestly, that's not what I meant. And then she just paused. And then the camera cut, and I was just thinking, no, this is too much. Like, there's no way you can tell me she meant that from a good place. There's no way you can tell me she meant that from a place of friendship. There's no way you can tell me that you have, like, sometimes your words can't precede you when it comes to things like that. How do your words precede you? How? You said what you said, own up to it. Anyway, post the crying, they ended up asking Ollie about Charlotte. So you guys remember Charlotte from the Mixer event, and she was also part of the Pod Squad. Is it Pod Squad? Yeah, it's Pod Squad. Instantly, Ollie now took a sip from his drink, and then he started laughing and like giggling or whatever, and they were just like, you're not gonna answer the question. And he's just like, yeah, like, yeah. You know how Ollie talks? Yeah, like, obviously, yeah. That's what you were hearing. Anyway, he pretty much confirmed that they actually have been speaking, and then that camera now panned to Charlotte, who was in the audience, and they asked her the same question, and she pretty much said that, the past few weeks have been really hard for her, and she wouldn't have been able to get through it if Ollie wasn't by her side. So I'm guessing there's a relationship going on there. I feel like Ollie could have just been straight up with it, because Demi doesn't have any ill intent towards you, and I don't think she wishes you evil. She has agreed that you guys are both going to be cordial, and you're both going to be peaceful and also friends. So yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, I guess Ollie and Charlotte, a little something is going on there, but basically I think they're dating, and that's Demi and Ollie. Now, moving on to Sabrina and Steven. Guys, Sabrina and Steven have broken up, and honestly, it was so interesting, and it just made me wonder, like, love is so interesting. Not saying they weren't in love, but it's so interesting to see how people can transition from being lovey-dovey and love each other and kisses and smiling and laughing to straight face. Straight face, not even one. I don't think either of them smiled throughout this entire reunion, guys. It was literally straight face. So of course they were asked what had happened, and she pretty much said that, Sabrina did mention in the pods that she wants to start up her own agency, and Steven was like, yeah, I'm going to support you and everything. She pretty much said, he didn't support me one bit, and she didn't feel like she received that support, and the communication was whack, the distance was whack, she was just grilling him, like frying him on the stove in 4K. So obviously now, one of the major things that they did speak about was the fact that when she, she lives in Belfast and he lives in London, that she had come to London 7 times, and he had gone over to Ireland, I think, twice. And even when she came over, like, he wasn't really accommodating towards her. And then when he went over there, apparently, guys, Steven has lost his job as well. Like, they were both unemployed. And I thought Steven owned multiple gyms. So when he was like, he lost all his customers, I was thinking, all your customers? Like, everyone gone? What's going on? So she was like, obviously he came over to Belfast, he wanted an ironing board, I got him an ironing board, I don't even drink tea or coffee, I got him tea and coffee, I got him a presser, I rented a car. I said, whoa, a lot has gone on in this 1 year, guys, and I need to catch up. Because what do you mean Steven and Sabrina are no longer together? I thought they were my Lauren and Cameron of the season. But I guess that's going to Benaya and Nicole, clearly. But I thought they were my Lauren and Cameron of the season, guys. She was mainly speaking about the fact that the biggest issue was communication between them. Now, Stephen now came in and he pretty much chimed in and butted in and said, you know what, I would apologize and own up for things that I need to own up for, but there are some things that I'm pretty much not going to own up for. And she was just like, oh, even for Christmas, 2 days before Christmas, you just text me, like, I can't make it, And he even was just like, listen. And I thought, guys, even before I continue, are you team, I don't want to say are you team because, yeah, but are you on Sabrina's side? Are you on Steve's side? Are you on neither? Are you on both? I don't know. But I feel like Sabrina was going really in on him, and I can definitely understand because her feelings were hurt, but I feel like there was such a calmness that Stephen portrayed. It almost was like he wanted to say more, but he couldn't. So even at that point, he was like, when, you know, they asked, what do you mean you cancelled 2 days before Christmas? He was like, honestly, Sabrina knows why I cancelled. She knew there was a very serious situation or something that happened that was very dear to me, that really hurt me emotionally, and that's all I'm going to say. And then Sabrina kept quiet. So it just makes you wonder, like, don't get me wrong, I know this is probably the first time you guys have spoken since you guys have called it quits or anything like that, but who is telling the truth here? Who isn't telling the truth? Are you guys both telling the truth? Or was it just never, ever, ever gonna work? Anyway, Stephen now jumped in again to once again say that he doesn't feel like he's changed, but he feels like life has been very different. And Sabrina was like, you have changed. You have changed. You're not the same person that I met, blah, blah, blah. And he pretty much said, listen, we weren't in all these amazing places. We weren't having our flights paid for. We weren't in these going for amazing date nights. You know, a lot was going on. Prior to real life, they were on the show and life was pretty much a fantasy. They were living in a bubble. Things were paid for. The house was furnished. They didn't have to contribute one kobo. But now that they've left the whole experiment, you know, real life was real life in, and pretty much they couldn't stand the test of time. The way they were so in love on that show, it was very shocking to see the scenes that we saw. Honestly, it was very shocking. But you know what? We wish them the best. What more can we do? Next, let's move on to Jasmine, and she got the body of a dancer. She got the body of a dancer. She got a body. Guys, I'm telling you, that song is going triple platinum in this house right now. Okay? I think it's such a good song. Anyway, guys, they have been absolutely amazing. They have had an amazing year. They are still very much in love, very much giddy. Like, they were even showing us scenes of their life post the whole experiment, how happy she is, how happy he is, showing their vlogs. Like, they honestly look like they are in love, like serious love. And I feel like they complement each other, you know. Jasmine makes Bobby look really good. Bobby also makes Jasmine look good. They just look really good together, and I love it for them. Jasmine lives in London, Bobby lives in Stoke, so even 2 days after the experiment, they actually just decided, you know what, why not, let's just do it. So he actually ended up moving to London, and they've been living together since. They're adjusting to their new life, going on normal date nights, aka Top Golf, for example, and just really getting to know each other and spending more time with one another. Now, of course, they ended up bringing up Auntie Marissa, who you guys know does not play games. Auntie Marissa, bullet. So bullet. You guys already know Auntie Marissa, she don't play no games. She does not play no games when it comes about Jasmine, honey. So of course, they were speaking about the fact that she was really overprotective at first, and you know, how did that make you feel? And Bobby said, to be honest, you know, at first, you know, it was a bit scary, but if anything, that just gave him more fuel and fire to really prove to her how much he does really love her daughter. And then of course, they ended up asking Jasmine as well, and Jasmine said, you know what, it was hard for her to pretty much dishonor her mum, because her mum pretty much didn't give her blessings until the actual day. I remember the mum did actually give Jasmine and Bobby blessings on the day, but prior to that, Auntie was not with it. So of course she was like, you know what, I'm just happy that I went with my heart. People are always going to have doubts, people are always going to say things, but I do really love this man and we're really happy together. By the way, Jasmine looked absolutely stunning, and I really love the dark hair on her as well. I really do. Anyway, the camera now ended up panning to Auntie Marissa in the audience, and they were like, you know, Auntie, you know, what is it? Do you have, you know, is he approved? You know, talk to us. And she said 110%. So of course they were asked about their next steps, and they said right now, even actively as we are speaking right now, they are already planning for Love is Blind children. Okay, but I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Jasmine, and also happy for Bobby. I feel like they both match each other's fire slash flame. I do feel like Jasmine is very fiery, very outspoken, very out there. Bobby's really cool, calm and collected, and they just work together. So now let's move on to Maria and Tom, guys. So of course they initially brought up the iconic lipstick scene. I'm never going to get that scene out of my head, because Nah, Tom was smothered in red lips. Like, he was looking like Mrs. Doubtfire. Okay. Oh, by the way, Maria looked absolutely stunning. But they mentioned the fact that they had actually decided to part ways. Tom was the one that actually answered that question. And Maria said, obviously, when it came to wanting to raise children and when it came down to their values and everything, you know, she's been brought up in a certain type of home and that's the environment that she wants for her life, for her children and everything. And I did already say this as well. Like, I do feel like Maria and Tom did get on really well, but I don't feel like they had the necessary conversation that they needed to before taking the next step for them to also get married. So you guys know, after the wedding and everything, Tom was saying how he wants to be able to raise strong and independent women, blah, blah, blah. And she just felt like that was an insult to me. It was an insult to all the females that you've met in my family. My mom was so loving. My family was so loving and welcoming towards you. Sorry guys, I just took a sip of my drink, that's why I can't really talk properly. But my family was so loving and so caring towards you, and you basically just thrown it back in our faces. And she also wanted to clarify that she never once said that she wants her man to be the sole provider and buy designer and buy this and buy that, because I think some people on social media were insinuating that she was a gold digger. So she wanted to really just, you know, nip that in the bud. But once again, it goes back to what I said before, where I said that I don't feel like Tom and Maria had the necessary conversations that they needed to have prior to them getting into the full-on relationship and also making it to the altar. And I do know Maria was definitely really upset. She was 100% going to say yes, but I don't feel like they had the necessary conversations that they needed. By the way, Maria looked snatched. I'm just remembering. But anyway, did I just say that already? I don't know. But I don't feel like they had the necessary conversations that they needed in order to make it work. Of course, there was a Tasha interlude in which they spoke about Tasha in the pod being very emotional when obviously Tom told her that he wanted to go for someone else, aka Maria as well. Even when they had the mixer event, you know, he just didn't really know what to do because, yeah, thank you for telling me all of this, but now I have a fiance, so it's a bit awkward. Of course, he was mentioning that Tasha has been very empathetic regarding everything. Last but not least, they also mentioned the whole makeup comment, you know, Tom saying, you know, oh, you know, you're a makeup artist, and kind of like looking down on Maria and XYZ. Tom did say that watching the show back and even just being able to go through this whole experience has allowed him to really assess himself, his character, see his flaws as well. He's not perfect, and go on from there as well. So that was quite interesting to see. And I guess there's been I don't know, a lot of self-reflection since the show. Like, sometimes you're not able to pick out your flaws and you need a mirror, or you need someone else to be able to bring that out in you. And I feel like the show definitely did do that for Tom. I don't know, guys, it's so interesting that Tom and Maria actually got on, because he's cool with a few dad jokes here and there, but I don't know, it just seems a bit, I don't know. I think he's quite monotone. I think that's what I'm trying to say, because he's not boring, but he just speaks so, yeah, like, obviously, you know, I feel like we got on really well, and, you know, we have agreed to go our separate ways, but yeah, like, that's how we talk. So I'll be honest with you, that's the vibe that I get from him anyway. Overall, the vibe between Maria and Tom weren't there. You can definitely see that they have agreed to disagree, and nothing is changing, because even at the end, they were even trying to encourage Maria to say something nice about the relationship, and she was just like, yeah, it was fun. And then they were just like, you guys gonna be friends? She was like, no, not really. Like, she was so blunt with it, and Tom honestly just didn't even say a thing. But honestly, wishing them all the best in their different endeavors. Okay, now next moving on to Benaya and Nicole. So of course, one thing I really loved was initially when they asked Benaya about, you know, how have things been with you and Nicole, he was like, first off, I just want to say, isn't Nicole looking beautiful today? Like, he is so obsessed with, and the guys are so cute. They're even still wearing their little matching bangles. They're so cute with them little colourful bangles, man. I think they're just so adorable. Anyway, they showed us an exclusive look at their first year together, and honestly, Benaya he's just so smitten over her. They were holding hands, they were giggling, they were laughing. By the way, Benaya should keep the hair pulled back. It was really giving cheekbones. I said, okay, cheekbones, he's looking good. Anyway, they now went on to invite Phineas. Alright, so Phineas now came on board. In case you don't know who Phineas is Sam, because I told you he reminds me of Phineas and Ferb for some weird reason. I don't know why. But of course, instantly, he sat down and he was just like, you know, the last few weeks have been really hard, you know, like social media, but, you know, I just noticed that, you know, it's just making me stronger, and yeah, like, yeah, pretty much all that vibe, right? Now, of course, they now ended up asking Jasmine about, you know, Sam, and how did she know that Sam wasn't the one? And she just said, you know what, it's a female's intuition. Like, it's important that females listen to their intuition, and it's important that females are guided by the things that they feel, because ultimately that is what matters, and that's why she decided not to go for Sam, and she now decided to go for Bobby. They now asked Sam to elaborate on his comment about not being able to pick Nicole up. You guys remember that comment? And I did already say this, you know, this is Love is Blind. any comments around weight, stature, that it is all void, you're on Love is Blind. Okay, that's that. If you cared so much about that, you should have gone on Love Island, you should have gone on Too Hot to Handle. What's all of those other shows? I don't remember, but Love is Blind. Looks do not matter right now. You need to focus on their personality at heart. So of course now, Nicole now ended up saying, thank you to Benaya for having her back throughout the entire situation. And that's one thing I really love about Benaya. Benaya genuinely looks out for Nicole. He looked out for her in the pods. He looked out for her when they were at the mixer. He looked out for her even here, like the second Phineas came out. He was like to Nicole, like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, like he really, he's so sweet. Wow, he really cares about her and cares about her well-being to make sure that she actually feels very comfortable, not just by herself, but also when she is with him as well. So obviously, Nicole was, you know, saying to Benaya, thank you for having my back. Thank you for, you know, having my third eye. Thank you for pretty much like looking out for me, right? They now ended up asking between Nicole and Phineas who called things off. So Nicole now explained that, you know, after the reveal, and I kind of noticed even after the reveal, Nicole was looking a bit like she was a bit unsure anyway, but after the reveal, and oh sorry guys, I keep jumping, but I'm also just remembering that after the reveal, he randomly said, I love you, and she was like, I'm gonna hold on to that. Okay, but after the reveal, she said, you know, she pretty much told him, I don't want to go to Greece, I don't want to do this, like I just don't feel like we're there yet. And then obviously she said that Sam didn't take it really well. So obviously Benaya, they asked Benaya how he felt, and Benaya was like, yeah, I felt over the moon, like I was just so happy. I just felt like I'd been given another chance at love. I knew in my heart, you know, Benaya talks, I knew in my heart that Nicole was the one. They now ended up speaking about the time when Sam now told Phineas, now told Benaya that, you know, Nicole told you that she wanted to sleep with me, and I'm the one that called it off, blah, blah, blah. Now, instantly, Sam now started mumbling like, oh, obviously, and Demi just said, Sam, just say you're sorry, because what is given is all this time you have never opened up your mouth to just say you're sorry about the whole situation. Okay, he was just like, oh, like cool, like yeah, I guess I am sorry or whatever, right? Nicole now jumped in and she said that it was really hurtful when he said that because it was a lie. Guys, it was a lie. Phineas, you lied to that extent to prove that Nicole was the problem and you weren't. And even if Nicole was the problem, why would you say that? Guys, when Nicole said a lie, I said a lie. No, that is low. I'm sorry, that is so low. To lie against a female like that in regards to sexual advances, no. Anyway, Phineas got up and he got off the stage and he went to go and sit in the audience. I feel like he could have still stayed on the stage if he wanted to, but he just couldn't handle it. Like how can you lie? He actually lied on Nicole. That is disgusting. That is actually disgusting. Wow. That is really low. Shame. 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 Okay, but yeah, he ended up getting up and he went to go sit in the audience, and then he literally just walked on stage. I was just thinking he definitely could have stayed on that stage, but I feel like the heat was just a bit too much and he just couldn't deal with it. The fact that everyone was just flogging him left, right and center. Anyway, next steps regarding Benaya and Nicole, they have said a future of happiness with them, so I love that for them. I think Nicole and Benaya, they suit. When she said yes to Sam, I felt like, I already said this in my review, but I did feel like it was a cop-out from Sam anyway. Like, yes, of course I love you. Yes, just trust me. Like, it was just given he really wanted to beat the experiment. My big sister has a lot of sympathy for Sam, which is quite interesting. I'm not saying I don't have sympathy for him. I don't know him, but we have opposing views, yet we watch the same show. So I'd love to know what you feel and you think down below. Last but not least, let's move on to Freddie and Kat. So of course, Kat ended up confirming that they aren't together. No surprise there. I feel like after the wedding, Freddie was just being really nice with like, oh no, yeah, we can still be friends. I want you to still live with me. I want us to still get to know. I feel like, yeah, nah. Okay, he was just doing that to be nice. Of course, Freddie said that he thinks it's because their lifestyles were very different. Freddie also said that, you know, one of the red flags for him as well was when they were in Greece, he just really started to question a few things also in regards to Kat just being constantly snappy, and he just kind of felt like he had to dim his light a bit and really change himself just to try and cater for her and try and make her feel comfortable, etc, etc. Of course, she was like, yeah, like honestly, she takes full blame. She does feel like, you know, their lifestyles are different as well, but yeah, like it pretty much is what it is, you know, no one likes being rejected, and that was her her biggest fear. Now, of course, the topic of cheating now came up because you guys know Kat has been cheated on in the past. And initially, it was given the vibe from this episode anyway that the second he had confessed to cheating in his past relationship, she was just looking for things to complain about. She was being extremely snappy. She was being extremely rude. She was flirting with Sam. Still, that one I don't understand anyway. But she was being really snappy, being really rude, and just being really nonchalant towards Freddie. But she did confirm during the reunion that, you know, she's not going to hold him back or hold him down to his past. That was like a good 7 or 8 years ago over something that he hasn't done to her. So I feel like she's speaking in hindsight now that she's watched the episodes, because the vibe on the show was completely different. I'll tell you that. Of course, they also asked about the gift that Freddie got her on the wedding day. You guys know Freddie got her some diamond earrings because he said that he got her a nice present just because he felt like he needed to. And, you know, Kat was like, yeah, like, honestly, she was really shocked and everything, but she did decide to give it back. But she was really, really, really happy. Now, they then ended up asking Betsy in the audience, aka Freddie's sister, you know, how do you feel about things? Have your views changed? She just said, no, my views absolutely haven't changed. She said, I said what I said. Okay. But honestly, you know, she felt like when she saw her brother again, her brother was really reserved and it just wasn't the Freddie that she loved and she knew. And she instantly just knew from there that the connection for them just wasn't going to work. Anyway, they ended up showing their scenes from when they were in the pod. And then Kat at the end, you know, they just asked, you know, Kat, like, you know, what's next for you guys? And Kat was just like, honestly, you know, she started crying again. Freddie taught me so much, you know, so much about myself and, you know, this experience and blah, blah, blah. And then she also mentioned the fact that everyone has taught her a lot. So now she opened the floor. Okay, she opened the floor like, the girls have taught me a lot, the boys. I just thought, girl. Anyway, they did agree to be friends. And guys, that was the end of the I said Love Island, sorry. That was the end of the Love is Blind reunion. And you guys know season 2, I think it's coming next year. Maybe like next year, spring, maybe? Spring, summer? If you watch Real Housewives, you know what I'm talking about. Overall, guys, I honestly feel like it was quite a good reunion. They asked the questions that we wanted the answers to. A bit of, you know, back and forth. A bit of laughs, a bit of jokes, a bit of banter. You know, that's what reunions are for. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Good on the producers. I honestly feel like it was quite a good season. But let me know down below, guys. Did you guys like the reunion? Did you like the season overall? Are you shocked? Are you not? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is it, guys. I guess I'm closing out. I don't know why I'm finding it so hard to stop recording. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys did enjoy these Love is Blind reviews. Honestly, we managed to get through it in the space of like, I think 4 days. But we thank God we got there in the end. But I want to thank you guys so much for your love and for your support. Regardless of how late or how early I am with these uploads, thank you for constantly showing me love and showing me support. I do not take it for granted, and I love the fact that you encourage me to speak, because as you can see, I am a chatterbox. Okay, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna close it here. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Road to 30k, you already know the vibes. And also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. But other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please do take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you in our next one. Bye.